Hi friends, it's been a long time since I did a video, and that is because I have been having a really bad time with my mental health and the situation, ditto to so many of us around the world. And so I stopped doing videos for a while because I felt I didn't really know why I was doing them anymore, and I just didn't have the strength. And now I feel stronger to do them, and I feel more supported in doing them by my own guides and my own ancestors, and I've stopped worrying about what other people think of them. So this video, and I realized that I want to do these videos for the people who messaged me to say thank you for letting them know that I'm feeling this way, and that they feel less alone for that, and that is why. That's my why. So also I have been busy, very busy, creating a platform for creatives and wellness experts and freelancers who are offering classes and events and amazing Q&As and stuff with people in and it's a lot of work, and it's been really hard at times, and I am also on unemployment here in the US. I have no savings through the many choices that I made in my life. At one stage I had a lot of savings, and I had to I didn't know that I was suffering from mental health issues, and how I dealt with my feelings was by going on holidays and spending money on boyfriends and all kinds of things like that. And I've made some choices in my life that I'm not that I haven't been proud of. However, I have now moved forward, and I feel that I've now decided, it's a choice that I've decided to not regret anything that I've done, because it wouldn't have brought me to the place that I'm in right now. And where I'm staying is this incredible place that is a friend of mine's in Massachusetts. And I am so incredibly lucky to be here. However, the reason that I have really accepted my issues, my health issues, is because even being here in this beautiful place feels like, or felt like, still not enough. And I couldn't see I couldn't be grateful for it. That's now turned around. But I also had thoughts of, I'm 35 and I'm single and I've moved countries and all of this stuff. I never felt like the pandemic was a negative thing, because as somebody who always sees the world as it is, which is full of fear, I didn't necessarily see it that way. The reason that I get depressed and anxious is because I feel that people look at the world in a way that is wrong. Not wrong, but is detrimental to the whole. And we, as David Attenborough said on his new film, we don't make decisions with nature in mind. And I do, and I have for a very long time because I have experienced being a feeling. I've experienced feeling whole and loved, and in a way that is without any things. It was on my own in a festival that was a spiritual festival, where I felt nothing but love. And at the time, obviously, I didn't have many money problems or money troubles and whatever. So that whole thing of being single and 35 and not having any assets and feeling like, feeling like a successful failure. That's what sometimes those words come into my brain when I'm having my really dark moments. And that's how I feel quite a lot of the time. And I haven't allowed myself before to accept that maybe that is because that's not a normal way to think. I'm sure people have feelings like that, but it doesn't spiral down to a point where you feel like you shouldn't exist, or that you don't want to exist because there's no point. That's how I feel and have felt quite a lot over this pandemic, that I have no point. I have no why. And because I don't have a partner, I don't have kids, and it's really sad, and what also makes it more sad is that, I have amazing friends who are so supportive and lovely, and they tell me that I do have a point, and the point is for them, and it does help. It definitely does help. So if you know anyone who is feeling those kind of feelings, give them a why. So basically, I moved to America in November. I was due to start a job in March. I moved in with a boyfriend at the time in March for 6 weeks. That didn't work out because we'd only been together for like 6 weeks. And bless him, I love him and I adore him, but we weren't for each other. And May, I then moved. Did 2 weeks of quarantine in May, and that's when I started the Stralin Collective, or started thinking about the Stralin Collective, which definitely gave me purpose. Then I moved in with my sister in the middle of May, and her 2 babies, and that was lovely and gorgeous. But at the same time, I was still single and 35 and living in my sister's basement. And if I had told my 25-year-old self that that's what I'd be doing now, she wouldn't have believed it, because I didn't believe that. I thought that I would be married by now, have kids, be a Oscar-winning movie star, and I'm not. And it's taken it's still, again, it comes back to that successful failure thing. It does happen. It does. You can feel that way. And ultimately, all of those things are just societal constructs that don't matter, or they're not real. Like, they don't. Why do we have to live by that? Because it's been done before? Like, that's a ridiculous, thing to think. But I've been so conditioned to thinking that I should be married and have kids by now. And it's not anyone's fault, except for the government. I blame the government for a lot of things. And there's been moments where I've been, so joyful in my life. But I feel also there is when I've been in my like really down days, I feel like there's just no joy in my life. I sometimes feel that still now. So I have to work really, really hard in to not feel that way every single day. So I'm going to do another video after this with a morning rituals sort of routine of what I do, like a kind of I'll take you through as I do that. But it starts with a listening to a podcast with Abraham Hicks. Then I will do a meditation. Then I'll do some yoga. Then I might do a cacao ceremony. And then throughout the day, I have to just keep on saying to myself, like, you're helping other people, because that's what I'm doing now with the Strallen Collective. I'm trying to help other people have an income of some kind coming in at this time, as well as myself, for what I and what they have done for, trained to do for decades. I felt really compelled to do another video, actually inspired by Suzanne Shaw, who I've been talking to recently, who also did a video about her mental health, and also another friend, Jason Manford. I'm not just name dropping here for the sake of name dropping. I'm dropping their names because they too have suffered with their mental health. And you think about these people, and you think about, think about any kind of celebrity who you see in the press who's having a hard time. It doesn't make it any easier wherever you are in your life. I mean, obviously for me, I do have a lot of reasons to be depressed, that I've just listed, single, 35, no money, on unemployment, with no prospect of a job. But I've taken that out of my vocabulary now, and I'm choosing to feel differently. I also have a therapist, an amazing therapist, who works with core energetics therapy. I have considered taking medication. I haven't been prescribed it yet, but I am thinking about it. There is no shame in it, as long as it's administered correctly and kept an eye on. And I also reach out to my friends, and there's always someone to talk to. There's always someone to talk to. Even though you or someone who is depressed doesn't feel that way, it doesn't feel that way at the time. It feels like no one understands. And they do understand. They might even been through it themselves, so it is really worth telling somebody that you are not alone. Oh God, crying again. I can't talk to you guys without crying. Can't talk to anyone without crying, to be fair. Because it's funny, like it's weird, like I'm what someone would define, literally, I'm like the definition of an empath. I feel everything. Everyone's feelings I feel, even if that's like sadness, anger, happiness, and even if I feel the good stuff, happiness or love from somebody, it makes me cry. It makes me so emotional. And I don't know why. Because the thing is, when you do cry as an empath, I'm just going to cry through it, because I don't think there's anything wrong with crying. Especially because I do it all the time. It's like vomiting. When I vomit, I don't mind, because if like I'm sick or whatever, people are like really scared of vomiting, and I'm just not. I'm like, I'd rather get it out. And that's the same with crying. I feel like it's actually the other person, if there's another person there who feels more awkward than I do when I cry. But I just thought that I would share that and what's been going on, because I haven't recently. And as I said, I'm in this beautiful place, and I really felt like I couldn't appreciate it. And that's when I realized, I was like, oh, I'm really not well in my head. And actually, since kind of having that realization, that isn't just me saying it, it's not just me saying I have anxiety and depression, it's like a real penny drop. It's helping me to accept that, and accept that I do need help with it, and especially at this time, like, everyone needs help. So I really would love everyone to just help each other. I've been helped, and I've had some incredibly generous gifts from so many people through this time, and I'm so grateful to them, because they didn't have to do it. But at the same time, I still have that feeling of darkness that is, my life doesn't look the way it should. Or it's not even about looks, it doesn't feel the way it should. I don't feel joy for the majority of the time. And what does make me feel joy, which is why I'm mentioning the Stralin Collective. Yes, this is a plug. It's my business. I'm allowed to plug it on whatever I want, on my own YouTube channel. When I did feel, the last time I felt ecstatically joyful was when I was filming a section of the Jellicle Ball from Cats, the musical, for the compilation that Harry Francis did. I'll whack the link down at the bottom, because it suddenly reminded me that I am part of a family, of a tribe of people who are dedicated to an amazing art form that is musical theatre, that I was thrown into as a child and didn't quite know how I felt about it, and still don't know. But when I did that dancing, I felt the euphoria that I felt, and that freedom that I would feel, of, I don't know, I can't really explain it, but that's what I decided that I wanted to help people bring to people's homes at this time, and going forward, and opening up the global market and the global society, the global community, to the incredible community that I am a part of, because they deserve it. They deserve it so much, for the hard work and the dedication that they put to their industry, to show business. It is a hard industry. It is at the moment, but I hope that with this pandemic that it changes and that it shifts, because I don't think I can be in it with the way that it is, because I'm just too sensitive to dickheads. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I'm too sensitive to bad energy, and there's so much, well, and to male energy. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love a good man. Just for the record, I love certain men in my life. I could name so many who I just adore and who are wonderful, and we need that balance. But the theatre industry is very male dominated, and especially in the kind of producer side of it, and that's gay or straight. I'm not necessarily pointing towards the heteros being idiots, although some of them really are, and have treated me like crap for being a woman, which I'll do another video on in a few years' time. Don't wish to dwell on it. There's no point. I just am learning. I've learned from it and I've moved on. But to wrap up, I just wanted to do this video to let people know that you can find joy in the smallest thing, in nature, in your body, in lots of things. And it can really be hard, but the more you list what you're grateful for, the more brilliant things come to you. I really, really believe that now. It's working for me. And as I said, I'll do another video with my rituals and what I do and how I'm navigating that. But yeah, I hope that you've enjoyed this this sort of journal journal entry. I just felt I should let you know that you're not alone, and keep going. Just keep going and keep seeing the beauty and the love in the world, because there's so much. And I love you for listening. Sorry for rabbiting on. Oh look, my demon. Hi demon. Bye demon. Peace everyone.